Hi everyone, my name is Miss Molnar and I'm here today to do the counting lesson with you. I know that you've already done some counting with Mrs. Evans and Mrs. Martin, and I've brought a friend with me today. This is Harold the Hedgehog. Say hello, Harold. He's going to help us with our counting today. Have you been using your tens cards at home? I know that Harold has been using his. He's been trying to use them to sequence them and put tens in order. So Harold has prepared a sequence for you. He's put his 10 cards in order. Oh no! Harold's made a mistake, I think. But you know what, Harold? Don't worry, because our friends at home are really good at counting in tens. Let's see what mistake we might have made. Can you help Harold spot which tens cards he's missing in his sequence? Count from the start and count on and see which one he's missing. Let's find out. That's right. It was the 60 missing from his sequence. That's okay, Harold. We're still getting better and practicing. We're going to be counting today in fives. I know that you've been getting really good at home at counting on in twos and tens. So we're going to start on the number line on 0, counting on first in fives and then counting back. And we've even got Harold here today to help us with our counting. All right, so we're going to start on 0, but whilst we're counting on, I want you to do some thinking. Even Harold has got his thinking face on. He's thinking really hard. Can you show me your thinking face at home? All right, so while we're thinking, we're going to be thinking about what is the same and what's different about counting in fives and tens. All right, let's start counting on together. Are we ready? 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well done, everyone. Now, what I would like you to do is tell your adult, your friend, or even if you're working on your own, you can tell Harold, what did you notice was the same about the fives? And what was different about the fives than the tens? Harold's going to tell me what he thinks. All right, so Harold told me that he noticed that there was some of the tens numbers in our fives. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, and we have 50 in our multiples of fives. He also noticed that there were some differences. He noticed that every other number, its one digit, ended in a 5. So we had 5, 15, 25, and so on. And all of their one digits ended in a 5. All right, we're going to keep counting in fives, but we're going to count backwards this time, starting on 50. Are we ready, everyone? 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. Well done, everyone.
5 members in my band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fingers on one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. High five. 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 To the side, up above, down low, too slow. High five. Ooh, I feel so alive. You know that you've arrived when you're with number 5.
All right, so we brought our number block friend 5 today to help us with our counting. Have you seen number blocks before? I'm sure you have. We love watching number blocks. So the reason why we brought our 5 number block is to remind us our high five. We've got 5 fingers on one hand, so that's going to help us with our counting today. How many hands did you use when you were counting in tens? That's right, we used 2 hands when we were counting in tens because 2 hands has 10 fingers. 5 is half of 10, so we're just going to use 1 hand today to help us. All right, so let's use our high five. Show me your high five hands, and it's going to help us count our groups of 5. So I'm going to show you first before we start together. So we'll say 1 group of 5 is 5. 2 groups of 5 is 10. 3 groups of 5 is 15. All right, let's start together counting on, showing your high five to the screen with me. Are you ready? 1 group of 5 is 5. 2 groups of 5 is 10. 3 groups of 5 is 15. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 5 groups of 5 is 25. 6 groups of 5 is 30. 7 groups of 5 is 35. 8 groups of 5 is 40. 9 groups of 5 is 45. And 10 groups of 5 is 50. So then we can just count that in 5s now together. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well done. Now we've got pictures of hands to help us count. We want to find out how many fingers are there all together on the screen. So we need to count our groups of 5s again. Are we ready to count together? 1 group of 5 is 5. 2 groups of 5 is 10. 3 groups of 5 is 15. Make sure you're saying it with us. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 5 groups of 5 is 25. 6 groups of 5 is 30. 7 groups of 5 is 35. 8 groups of 5 is 40. 9 groups of 5 is 45. There are 45 fingers up on the screen. Now let's just count on the number of fingers in 5s just by saying the number. Are we ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Well done, everyone. Now, I want you to have a go at home. Can you tell your adults, your friends, or even Harold, first, how many groups of 5 are there? Can you count how many groups of 5 are on the screen? That's right, there's 7 groups of 5. Now can you tell your friend Harold or an adult, count on in 5, how many dots are there all together on the dice? All right, let's count together to see if we were right. We're going to start by saying 1 5 is. So 1 5 is 5. 2 5s are 10. 3 5s are 15. 4 5s are 20. 5 5s are 25. 6 5s are 30. 7 fives are 35. Did you get 35 at home? Well done, everyone. Let's give a high five. High five. Now, I know that Mrs. Martins asked you last time we did a lesson to make some fives tokens. Have you made your fives tokens at home? If not, that's okay. We're going to do some counting with our fives tokens. Maybe you want to pause this right now and go get your fives tokens so you can use them the same as we're using them. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to count now with our fives tokens how many dots there are all together. How many fives tokens does Miss Molnar and Harold have on the screen? That's right, we've got 4 groups of 5. You can lay out 4 tokens as well. Let's count on in fives together to see how many dots we've got all together. Are we ready? 5, 10, 15, 20. There are 20 dots all together. Well, I think I know why Harold is so excited about this question. Because there's loads of Harold the hedgehogs on the screen. He wants you to count at home how many hedgehogs are there all together. So you can count on in fives to your adult, a friend, or even to us. All right, have a go. All right, shall we count on together? Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Well done. Did everyone get 30? All right, so wow, there are a lot of counters on the screen. We need to find out how many there are all together. How should we count them? Oh, I think Harold has an idea. Okay, so Harold thinks that we should count all the counters one by one, going 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you think that's the best way to count them efficiently? Can you tell your adult or a friend or even us how you think we should count them? That's right, counting them in ones is not very efficient. It would take us a very long time. That's okay, but I know that you've counted them before, haven't you, in groups of 2s and 10s? And today we're going to group them into 5s. So let's put them into groups of 5s. Are we ready? 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5, 5 groups of 5, 6 groups of 5, 7 groups of 5. All right, we know we have 7 groups of 5 now, so let's count on together how many we have all together, just counting on in 5s. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 7 groups of 5 is 35. All right, we've done this before, haven't we, Harold? We need to make groups of 5 now, okay? So we need to circle around a group of 5. I'm going to circle around a group, and I want you to help me count. So we'll say 1 group of 5 is, and say the number together. All right, are we ready? 1 group of 5 is 5. Well done. 2 groups of 5 is 10. 3 groups of 5 is 15. 4 groups of 5 is, good, 20. 5 groups of 5 is, well done, 25. So this is how I grouped around the stars to make groups of 5. But I bet if you were to do it, you might have grouped them a little bit differently. I've tried a second way. Do you want to see? So this is the other way that I grouped the stars in 5s. You can make different combinations, but we still have the same amount of stars and the same number of groups. Let's check to make sure. So let's make sure that we've got 5 groups over here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 groups, and we know that 5 groups of 5 is 25. So even though I circled them differently, in a different way, it's still the same amount of stars and groups. All right, so I've sent Harold away with a task. I've asked Harold to draw 15 apples on his whiteboard. So Harold's gone ahead and he's drawn 15 apples on his whiteboard. All right, now I'm going to ask Harold to group his apples into groups of 5. So let's see what he comes up with. All right, so Harold has grouped his apples into 3 groups of 5 like this. Now what I would like you to do is pause this, get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, and can you draw 15 apples on the paper? And can you group them into groups of 5 in a different way? So yours might even look different than Harold's. Have a go at that now. All right, so I've brought Harold back for this question because it's a little bit tricky. We're going to be counting in 5 still, but we're going to be starting on a different number than 0. So first thing I need you to do is, can you tell me how many fingers are on the screen already? That's right, there's 20. So we're going to count on starting on 20. So we're going to say 4 groups of 5 is 20. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 5 groups of 5 is 25. 6 groups of 5 is 30. 7 groups of 5 is 35. 8 groups of 5 is 40. 9 groups of 5 is 45. All right, tell your adult or tell us at home, what are we going to count on from this time? That's right, 10. We're going to start counting from 10. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. All right, hopefully you've got your 5s tokens with you at home, because I'm going to teach you a game that you can play with an adult, maybe a brother or a sister, or even you can challenge yourself and play on your own as well. So I'm going to show you with Harold. Harold has drawn his tokens, so even if you don't have 5s tokens, you could draw them on a piece of paper as well right now. So Harold's going to lay out an amount of 5s tokens, as many as he wants. Okay, so this is how many Harold has set out for Miss Molnar. So I know that he set out 5, 10, 15. He set out 15. And what I need to do is I need to count on from 15 all the way up to 50. Okay, so I'm going to count on now because that's the challenge he set out for me. So I'm going to go 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay? Then you can swap and the other person can set out tokens and you can count on from that number. Then, if you want to get even trickier, this time Harold is going to set out a new amount of tokens for me. And instead of this time counting on, what you're going to need to do, okay, so this is how many he set out for me. So I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This time, you need to take the tokens away and count back until you get to 0. Okay, so if I was to take away the tokens, I know I've got 25 right now, so take one away. 20, 15, 10, 5, and 0. So you can play that, you can pause it, and you can play that with an adult or a friend, or even on your own now, or maybe at the end you want to have a go. All right, everyone, we've really enjoyed counting in 5s with you today. I hope you've enjoyed it as well, but we're not finished yet. Harold and I have got an activity for you to try afterwards. So what you need to do is you need to find 20 objects at home that you can count with. So it might be 20 Lego pieces, it might be 20 straws, it even might be 20 pieces of dried pasta, but make sure you ask an adult first. So once you have your 20 objects, I want you to group them into equal groups. So I wonder, is there only one way that you can do it? Is there more than one way? But remember, the same amount of objects have to be in one group. I wonder if you can think about your learning from counting in 2s, 5s, and 10s. And then next time we can see how many ways you were able to group 20 objects. Thank you everyone for great listening today. We're going to leave you with the Highfive song to enjoy, and we're going to say bye now. Bye everyone. See you next time.
5 members in my band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fingers on one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. High five. 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 To the side, up above, down low, too slow. High five. Ooh, I feel so alive. You know that you've arrived when you're with number 5.